As always, it's the deep dive. We visit with Jimmy Vaccaro, bookmaker for over 40 years. Follow him on Twitter. If you're ever in Las Vegas, check him out at the beautiful South Point. And let's start with, it was tough to see, Jimmy. I know you're a big guy that wants the 18 playoff, and who doesn't? It was tough that those semifinal games were blowouts.
Yeah, it was tough. Paul, before we get started, I got to mention it because, we always talk about, who's the best at what they do. And you watch Belichick, and obviously you know that he knows what he's doing. Then you say, then they start comparing him to Lombardi and Bear Bryant, whatever level they're coaching at. But I look at it this way. Here's a guy named Michael Floyd, who just a week ago was a DUI and might be looking at obviously some jail time. He turns around a week later and he catches a touchdown pass for the New England Patriots. You must attribute that to the system that they do. To me, that was absolutely incredible. That was the unbelievable thing I've seen the entire week. A guy that got a DUI, and a week later he gets a touchdown pass from Tom Brady. You got to give the credit to to Belichick, and he has to go down as one of the greatest coaches ever coached the game. What do you think, buddy?
No doubt about it. He's surpassed Lombardi in my eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, me too, buddy. Yeah, it was a very good weekend. Saturday was real good until late, and here's a little piece of info for you coming from my side. We were doing very, very well. Then the most, since I've been here at the South Point, it's been 3.5 years now, a single game loss that we had, just straight bets only, forget the teasers, forget the parlays, was the Ohio State game. I mean, we opened the game 3.5. We closed at 1. Could have went to pick, and obviously I saw some ones on Clemson. It was the highest loss I had ever seen on a single straight on the game. So, and we were absolutely fooled, and naturally Ohio State was absolutely exposed in that one, buddy.
Yep. How about the Alabama-Washington game? Another game that's close. It looks to be 10-7 going to half. Why are you throwing the ball? You could see the pick six coming.
Don't know that. I think it's almost like a mental thing playing against Alabama because it's talked about so much and them getting points on defensive play. It's literally the same. If you go back through the last few years, you get those double digits and you say to yourself, just keep it close. I might be able to win later. But there seems to be that one defensive play that turns it around. And yes, Washington was in the game except for that one play. Then naturally, when they smelled it like they had that play like that, then Washington obviously didn't exert itself to the point where they obviously were outclassed by the defense. And plus, they got that big horse in the backfield, which, he made some great plays when they had him pinned in, inside the 10-yard line. And naturally, when you do that and you make a defensive stop like they do, it's hard to overcome. But, it was a big point spread. And, yes, we had straight bets again. We were high on Washington, but naturally all the teasers and all the parlays on Alabama. But I agree with, if you want to call them value bettors, wise guys, whatever, taking the 16, 15, and actually 14. We closed at 13.5. But once again, all they got for their trouble was a receipt.
How's the early action been less than a week away from the rematch? It was an epic game last year. How about Clemson and Alabama? Where's the money coming in?
Yeah, as anticipated, we opened at 7 and we're down to 6.5. We took a pretty good bet at the +7, as I see now across the landscape. It's usually 6.5, and something you don't see that normally either. It's like there's been some money on the under from people whom I respect, and they're looking at both these defenses like, wow. I mean, we know Clemson. They're completely outclassed on the defensive side of the ball. Ohio State could absolutely do nothing. Alabama, they did have their spots where Washington obviously could have scored but didn't. So you're seeing some money under the 52, and usually in this type of game. But once again, we have a full basically a week to go, so we'll see the parlays with the over. But smart, if you want to call them smart, took the 7 and went under 52 so far.
All right, Week 17 NFL. How does the Sunday night game go over? And if you had Atlanta in your pocket, the Saints with 2 touchdowns late, they get the onside kick?
Wow, nothing after 1, and the game goes way over with the Packer game. One of those games again.
Yes.
But we as bookmakers got lucky also. We had a fair stunt. We gave a big part of it back with the Packers and the over late. But the Raven game, I mean, it went crazy from a 2-point dog to a 2.5 point favorite, and they didn't show up, although it looked like Cincinnati going into the game was a team that wasn't going to show up. But a absolutely silent assassin 38-13. There was every parlay, and the parlay card was on the Atlanta Falcons. So, we got one back there. So, as bookmakers, we can't always bitch and say, they got us late. We got them late on this because it was a huge, huge turnaround by them coming back from 38-13, and they covered the points for us. So it was an incredible game to watch. If you had the underdog, you got to shake it and say, this is one that I got away with, and we surely did on that one.
What do you think of the playoff matchups? We've had some quarterbacks knocked out. I know you wanted Raiders, Cowboys in the Super Bowl. Horrible news with Carr. Now they might be putting a rookie in there.
Yeah, but it's hard to say early. And I'll tell you the truth about it, Paulie, not that I look that deep into it, but what I like about it mostly is like the first 2 weekends. You get the 2 games on Saturday and 2 games on Sunday. And you're right about 60% of what you would do, maybe even closer to 70% on a normal NFL Sunday with all the games. Naturally, there's only 2 games, but people just line up, and it's a good break. You do the early game, then bang, here's another big game coming at you. And the first 2 weekends, the NFL wild card, and then second week with the 2 games on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. As far as we put up the games. Haven't taken a lot of plays so far. We took a little bit of money on the Giants over the Packers, and basically, my friend, that's about it. There's up there some parlay action back and forth, but nothing to worry about until we get to the weekend.
Okay, last thing, Jimmy, how was the UFC card? And I think a lot of Rousey money late from the public. Yeah,
we won a matchstick. We had some decent play on the dog there, but then what it really showed me was like Rousey is obviously she got her ass kicked last year. She still has an attraction. I don't know if it'll be there anymore, but there was a lot of parlays to her. We opened it low 35, we closed at 60, so that helped us a little bit on Friday night also.
Happy New Year! Thanks for 5 great minutes. We'll talk to you next week, sir.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts and shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.